So, this is more of, I think, a little bit more of a prepared speech, but also I'm still going to add my off-the-cuff presentation style. So please pardon me for what I know about it. So I like to start off with a little bit of activities, or just kind of get you engaged in this. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to picture someone that has hurt you previously in your life. And this could be a bully that pushed you down in the sandbox. This could be someone at work. This could be someone on campus that hit you with a microaggression. And just really think about that instance. What were you feeling? How did you react? Did you actually immediately, in that situation, address it? Or did you hold on to it and just reflect on it later? Did you tell someone else? Okay, you can open your eyes, and I'm gonna bring that back at the end of this presentation. So, Christy and I, earlier in the year, we did a course called The Science of Happiness, which was offered by the Greater Good Science Center in UC Berkeley. So a lot of people think that in regards to happiness, it's sunshine and butterflies and rainbows and woo-woo, all these positive feelings. But what we learned from this course is that there is actually a physiological science to well-being. And they broke it down into different categories, right? Like the act of giving, of showing gratitude, giving gratitude, acts of service and purpose. And one of the key ones in there, in that program that we studied, was forgiveness and reconciliation. And you're gonna say, why would that be in a happiness course, right? Why would they have the science of forgiveness embedded into a happiness course? Well, the scientists that study this, they do what they call cultural labs, meaning they study a phenomenon. It's a practice or exercise, and they see how it physiologically changes you and makes you healthier. And one of the things they discovered was that when we hold on to past transgressions, when we hold on to people that hurt us, it has a damaging effect on our overall well-being, and it hinders us from moving forward. So for instance, when I asked you to do that exercise, they say, remember that person that hurt you, that hurt? Usually it physiologically affects your actions and behaviors in the future. So let me take an example for you. So let's say you were a kid and you were in the classroom and you were reading a book and everyone was laughing at you and making fun of you, and you hold that hurt, and then as you move forward, it's going to hinder your actions. You're going to be scared to talk. You're going to be scared to speak up in class or read because you're holding on to that. And so one of the suggestions they said was to recognize that that person hurt you, address it, but then forgive them for making fun of you, and then let it go. So in this study, they did a bunch of different things, exercises, but for this purposes, there was four main components. There's forgiveness in your health, your physiological health, right? There's forgiveness in relationships, how it affects your relationships. There's learning forgiveness, because as any behavior, you learn it over time and you practice it like a muscle. And then what we don't know, like science, there's still things to learn. So let's start with health, right? I brought back that story, the behavior part, but how many times have we thought about someone in our mind and it's affected our sleep? It's affected our, our heart, our stress, our cortisol levels. So they say that the more and more you hold on to these hurt, these grudges, it's doing a disservice or damaging aspect to your actual physical body, right? How many times when you feel like you're stressed out and someone hurts you, and then you feel your heart race, right? Right, and it beats faster because you're like nervous about something. Going back to that example, because you hold on to a hurt or someone that you hold a grudge against, or then when you are about to read or do a presentation, you get very anxious, and that affects your physiological thing. Or when you say like you're holding a grudge, you're not getting sleep. What happens with the consequence of not getting adequate sleep? You you're not rested, your mind, sleep for your mind is where your body heals. So this physiologically, holding on to grudges and not forgiving people is going to affect you physically. So forgiveness in relationships. How many times do we let past hurt hinder us from establishing new and fresh relationships? So when we hold on to grudges, let's say just for example, a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner per se, that hurts you, and then you bring that into the new relationship, and you automatically assume that when we're in a relationship together, that the past transgressions of someone else is going to affect this new relationship. And you bring that and you already equate, like, hey, me and Raymond, we're here, we're hanging out, and I already assume that he's going to do some kind of damage to me, but he's a new person, he has no connection to that past hurt. So I believe those patterns of someone that hurt me is going to affect our new relationship. So by holding on to grudges and not learning the act of forgiveness is going to hurt me from my future relationships and building rapport, right? Learning forgiveness. So there's exercises, right? There's a lot of different small techniques. One technique, I asked my Facebook friends, and I did a little thing. I put on Facebook that, what are some techniques that you learn how to forgive, like some tangible ways. And one was, if I'm in a situation, I'm really, really anxious about a situation, I sit on it for 5 minutes, I get it out, I say what's upsetting me about it, and then I let it go. And that's a small technique. One technique that I would like to charge you guys to do, that I learned during this course, is write an invisible letter, or not invisible letter, write a fictional letter to someone that hurt you, get it all out. You did this, this, and this, put it in an envelope, and put it away, physically and mentally. But you expressed yourself. You wrote it out on a piece of paper. So that person I asked you to put in your mind, try that exercise. Just curious, and I'll be curious to see your results. And then lastly, what we don't know. We don't know the overall, like that's why it's science. They study different things, but we don't know the levels of how much damage this can do to your body, right? So it is a practice. And so I know I'm over time a little bit. So I want to leave you with one last thought, right? While I finish this presentation. Most times when someone hurts you or does something that hurts your feelings and you address it with them, you'll be surprised how much they didn't even know they did it. I remember that Andy brought up a story where a guy stuttered a lot, and he said, because of you, I became a professional speaker. I was going to show you. I was going to show that guy that made fun of me. And you tell that person, they said, I don't even remember making fun of you. I'm so sorry. So that's why it's another part of this exercise. Write it out, get it out, because when you're holding on to baggage that other people have let go. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.